Relax, trust in the Most High, He got your back. Praying fast when you under attack.
All right, shalom, shalom. Welcome to the Shot of Our Perspective. And today I am going to shed a light on the Jewish role in the transatlantic slave trade. Okay, because I see a lot of European Jews, I'm not going to say all of them, but a lot of European Jews, they tend to want us to forgive and forget when it comes to the slave trade. But whenever it comes to the Holocaust and whenever it comes to their atrocities, they're able to vent their frustrations all the time. And we have to recognize the Holocaust and the atrocities that were done to us, and it was so vile. But when it comes to the slave trade, they are quiet and docile about it. Okay, so I'm going to go to a Jewish website. I'm going to go to Jewish literature on how they know and understand full well their plight within the slave trade. So I'm on myjewishlearning.com. I'm going to go down because this article did a lot of trying to marginalize their role, which is so foul. You know, if you have a role, you have a role. Just apologize for the role and give reparations and move on. But obviously, European Jews don't want to do that. They want to be docile. They don't want to really fess up to their wrongdoings or their ancestors' wrongdoings. So right here, this section where it says, did Jews really own slaves? And it says, yes. Jacob Rader Marcus, a historian and a Reform rabbi, wrote in his 4-volume History of Americans Jews that over 75% of Jewish families in Charleston, South Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, and Savannah, Georgia owned slaves, and nearly 40% of Jewish households across the country did. The Jewish population in these cities was quite small, however, so the total number of slaves they owned represented just a small fraction of the total slave population, right? Trying to minimize it. Eli Faber, a historian at New York City's John Jay College, reported that in 1790, Charleston's Jews owned a total of 93 slaves and that perhaps 6 Jewish families lived in Savannah in 1771. A number of wealthy Jews were also involved in the slave trade in the Americas, some as ship owners who imported slaves and others as agents who resold them. In the United States, Isaac da Costa of Charleston, David Franks of Philadelphia, and Aaron Lopez of Newport, Rhode Island are among the early American Jews who were prominent in the importation and sale of African slaves. Whoa, prominent, right? And then earlier it said 75% of Jewish families in these areas, such as Charleston, Carolina, South Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, and Georgia, owned slaves. 40% of Jewish households across the country. Wow. Anyways, back to here. It says, in addition, some Jews were involved in the trade in various European Caribbean colonies. Alexandre Lindo, a French-born Jew who became a wealthy merchant in Jamaica in the late 18th century, was a major seller of slaves on the island. Man, so we see right here in My Jewish Learning, we see from historians who were Jewish rabbis understood the role the Jews played, right? Being ship owners, slave owners, importing slaves, right? In various areas, not just in the Americas, but also in Jamaica on the islands. So, me and all other Israelites of the Afro-Asiatic persuasion, we demand an apology from the European Jews, right, for their ancestors' role in the slave trade, because you know why? They still benefit from it, and we're still hurting from it. So there needs to be an apology, right? There needs to be some form of, reparation or a giving back of something, right? Money, land, something. If not anything, even if not that, just at least an apology or a public, confession of some sort. Not marginalizing, not trying to hide, not trying to nitpick, right? Time is up. This nation needs a healing. In order for us to come together as Black and white Jews, we have to be upfront right? We have to be willing to admit guilt. We have to be willing to have a conversation. We have to be willing to love one another and not have all this ego and bravado. So I'm calling, right, for my European Jewish brothers. I know ain't all of them are crazy, or not all of them are insane, not all of them are racist. I'm not saying all, but there still needs to be a public acknowledgement from that side, from that sect of Jewish people. We need an apology. This is Shadavad with the Shadavad perspective. Shalom. I holla.